My name's Gabriel Diaz de Leon, and I was a military police in the Army. We were on a convoy escort in Honduras going south towards Nicaragua, and we were the lead jeep. I was a 60 gunner standing up, and we heard 3 pops, and I guess we were fired on, and one of the rounds pierced the steering column on the jeep. And I looked down, and the steering wheel was going in circles. Then the driver jumped out, but standing up, so I just held onto the gun mount, and the jeep flipped and threw me out about 30 feet, and I landed on the back of my head, breaking C567 vertebrae in my neck. Pretty mountainous area, so it's like they called into Black Hawk helicopters, and they came and stabilized my neck, and which was, to me, that was great because there wasn't a lot of jostling around. They knew exactly what to do, and I think because of that, I wasn't a worse injury. So they sent me to Panama for a few weeks, and in Panama they put me in traction. And then I was shipped to Walter Reed. I guess they were waiting for a hospital bed to open up at a VA hospital in Houston, Texas. And so they shipped me to actually Wilford Hall in San Antonio, waiting longer, a few more days, and then finally I made my home in Houston at the VA hospital in the spinal cord unit. I think the care, not just that I received, but all the veterans, it's second to none. Every day is, when I was in rehab, it was, you go to therapy, OT, PT, rec therapy, every day. And, you really don't know how to appreciate it until you actually have to go therapy, like in the private sector. And if I can give you an example, I had shoulder surgery, and so they were bogged down at the VA, so they sent me community care. So you go to therapy, and it's like every time you go to therapy, it's a different person seeing you, and it's always going to be a PTA, an aide, and they're backed up. They have 2 or 3 people lined up, and it's like you do your exercise and then you wait. And at the VA, it's one-on-one. You're there for, you got an hour of therapy, and it's just nonstop. There's no lull, they get it done, and I think you get a lot more accomplished that way. And luckily, the VA, and we have PTs that are doing all the hands-on work. It's not a PTA to hand it off. And so it's, any type of therapy that we need, you don't have to wait. It's there. And it's always helpful, when you have injuries like spinal cord injury, that, it's not just you going through it, it's your whole family going through it, your wife, your kids. I think luckily, like for myself, my wife was a therapist herself, and so she knows. And it's funny because she always says, in the real world, compared to what the VA does, it's totally different. But my wife is, every step that I take, she takes it with me. And, same with the kids. they grew up with the VA, and it's, when they were younger, they'd come with me to my therapy or whatever, and it's, I mean, they all go through it, and it's really helpful to have someone by your side that, because it's not an easy journey, and I mean, I wouldn't wish it on anyone else, but it makes life easier when you have someone there with you. I mean, I was injured in 1984, so I'm going on 40 years in January since my injury. And I can honestly say, and I think as I get older, more parts of my body are giving out, shoulders, whatever. And so I'm actually seeing, it's like the last 5 years, I've like to, I'm here at the VA more often than I would like to. This last time I had a full shoulder replacement done, and I'm going to tell you, the nursing was awesome. I mean, it's the best care I've had ever, and I've been through a lot of surgeries. It's like the nursing on spinal cord was very caring, and it's the good thing is when they're on spinal cord, they know exactly what to do with your injury. I mean, it's almost like they specialize in that, because there's times where they'll, need help, and they'll pull a nurse from other floor, and it's like they have no idea what's going on, So I got to give kudos to, the spinal cord staff and the nursing and everybody, because they go above and beyond, and I wouldn't want to get my care anywhere else but here.